Hi, my name is Mike, the chameleon, and I have been teaching English since 1997. Whew. And these are my 10 tips to help you learn English fast. The first tip is surround yourself with English. So that means change your phone to English, change your computer to English, change your internet browser to English, change your GPS to English. Surround yourself with English because learning English doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to sit down for half an hour and study. Study what? No, it can be 30 seconds here or a minute there or just 5 seconds, just a little reminder. In fact, what I like to do is put Post-its, little notes around my house with words of the language I am studying. So you go into the kitchen and you see, the refrigerator. Oh, a cabinet. Aha, a drawer. So surround yourself with English in every way possible. Tip number 2 is practice. Okay, this sounds obvious, but you have to find people to practice with. The ideal thing is to find a native English speaker, but it doesn't have to be a teacher. No, it can be just simply a person that you do a language exchange with. Find someone who wants to speak your language, and you speak half the time in English and half the time in your language. This is a language exchange, and there are lots of people who are looking for them. Later on, I will discuss some options. The other possibility is practice with friends and family. Find people who, okay, they're not a native English speaker, but that's okay. The important thing is to hear it and practice. If there's a little accent, well, that's not a problem, as long as sometimes you are listening to native English speakers. So it's very important to find different ways to practice. And if you can't find a person, well, find anything. I like to practice with my dog. Yeah, or if you're around horses, talk to your horse, or goats, or cats, or whatever. The important thing is to practice. And if there's nobody, just practice with yourself. Talk out loud. It's good to think in English, but it's even better to be thinking and speaking in English. So just tell yourself what you're doing. Okay, now I'm walking through the door. Okay, I'm stopping. I am looking for a pencil. Ah, I see the pencil. I'm picking up the pencil. Just be your own narration. And if people hear you speaking English, well, okay, that's no problem. They'll think you're crazy. And that way, they have something to talk about at dinner tonight. So, find a way to practice. Be creative. There are lots of different ways to practice. And get in the habit of asking yourself, how would I say? In every situation, if you're waiting in a line or if you are driving in your car, think about situations, think about scenarios, and think, what would I say? What would I do? How would I say this in English? And just be practicing. And if you discover something where you can't express yourself, then you know what you have to study that night. Yeah? And so get in the habit of always asking yourself, how would I say this in English? It's a wonderful habit and it will help you a lot. The third tip is make English a habit. That's right. It's important to practice English every single day. Every day, no exceptions. Whether it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes, there has to be English every day. Maybe it's the time when you wake up in the morning. As you're eating breakfast, you listen to the news in English. Or maybe you have a language partner, a friend who also wants to practice English, and you talk during lunch every day for half an hour. Or maybe before you go to bed every night, you read English for 20 minutes. But the important thing is to make English a habit. It's not enough to do it 1 hour a week or have 2 classes a week. It has to be every single day. My next tip is say yes to frustration. Yeah, say yes to frustration. Let me explain. When you speak another language, it is difficult. And there are going to be moments where you say stupid things, or you say the wrong thing, or you can't say anything. Yeah, you just get frustrated. Oh, I want to say this, and you can't. Realize that frustration is the normal part of learning. And frustration can be a good thing, because frustration motivates you. Yeah, know that, I can't express myself here, or I don't know how to say this thing, and I really want to say that thing. Next time I'm in this situation, I don't want to feel this frustration. So, I'm going to study more. So many times when we feel frustrated, we get disappointed, and the temptation is to say, oh, forget it. I'm not going to do this anymore. English is too difficult. But no, have the opposite reaction of, oh, this is a good thing. I am feeling frustrated, and this can be transformed into motivation. And motivation is what you need to improve in language. And on this same note, realize that when you are speaking another language, you are going to make mistakes. It's impossible to speak perfectly from the beginning. I mean, even I, a native speaker, I make mistakes in English. One time I was doing a show. I'm an actor. I was doing a show and I asked someone, what are your name? What are your name? Oh, I mean, what is your name, of course. And so it's true, if you pay attention to you in your own language, sometimes you make mistakes, and you just have to embrace that reality. Speaking another language means you're going to make mistakes. You're going to feel stupid, and people are going to laugh at you. Yes, it is unavoidable. You are going to replace an O for an A, or you're going to say an I instead of an E, and it is going to be very funny for the people listening, because a small difference can change the meaning of a sentence completely. And it's funny. So just accept that. People are going to laugh at me. Oh well, let's move on. My fifth tip is find your joys. Find things that you really like. Who are you and what do you like? Imagine you like gardening. Well then, watch videos about gardening. Or if you like video games, well then follow Stitches, where they talk about video games. Or if you like technology, then listen to podcasts about technology. So find the things that you really enjoy, that you're passionate about, and do them in English. My sixth tip, that's a difficult word to say. My sixth tip is expose yourself to English. Okay, not expose yourself, no. I'm talking about open yourself up to different forms of English in your daily life. That could be podcasts or audiobooks or videos or TikTok or Instagram. There are so many options of places where you can listen and watch people speaking English. And you don't have to be actively watching or listening. It can just be in the background. Just open yourself up and let yourself be exposed to music, because we learn consciously, but we also learn subconsciously. So just becoming more and more familiar with the sounds of English will really help you. My seventh tip is forget about perfection. Sometimes we get obsessed with speaking correctly and never making a mistake. But that is impossible. The important thing is just jump in and use your English, and little by little you will get better and better. That's how we learn as children. Children don't speak perfectly from the beginning, they make lots of mistakes. But that is why they learn so fast, is because they're not afraid to make mistakes. They're just going to jump in and try to use the language, have fun, and that is a huge advantage. If you can train yourself not to care about mistakes, you will have a big advantage in learning English. My next tip is take a course or take a class, something where there is some structure for you to learn English. And this is going to sound weird, but it's important that you pay for that course. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. It can be something symbolic, $5 or $10. But when we pay for something, we have a connection to that thing and we feel a commitment. If something is free, we think, easy come, easy go. But if you pay for something, then you feel a commitment. You feel an obligation of, wow, I really have to use this to the maximum because I paid money for it. So I recommend that you take a course, take a class, and at least have some symbolic payment for that class. Very important. My next tip is focus on the most common words. For 80% of my communication, I only use 20% of my vocabulary. So what you can do is Google frequency list, and you will find the most common words in the English language ranked in order. And just go through, make sure that you know the first 100. Definitely you should know and be able to use those comfortably. And once you have the first 100, go for 200 and then 300. And be sure you know all of those words and that you can use them comfortably. You know how to say them, you know how they sound. If it's a verb, you know how to conjugate it. It's important to build your core of English and get that bigger and bigger because that is the base of all of your language learning. Language that we push up the pyramid. If you're interested in this idea of the pyramid, check out this video about the pyramid and how it helps us learn languages. Okay, so frequency list, find it and study it. And my last tip is for apps. Yeah, find 1 or 2 apps that you like to use to practice English. So there are lots of learning apps like Duolingo, but I prefer actually talking to people. And there are 2 great ones for that. The first is SpeakPeek. And this is great because it connects you to different people all around the world, and you can find someone with your same level. The only problem is it's not native English speakers, but it's great for talking to other people and meeting people from other countries who have the same goals as you, improving their English. And the second app I really like is Tandem. Tandem is great because you can actually speak to native speakers, and it's done by language exchange. You find someone who wants to learn your language, and then you speak for a while in English, and you speak for some time in your language. And this is a great way to meet people from other cultures and hear authentic English. And the thing I like most about these apps, that to start using them, they're free. So you can just jump in and start talking to people and meeting people. So if you have other recommendations for apps that you like, please put them in the comments. So those are my tips for learning English fast. I hope they help you, and I would love to hear your ideas for improving your English quickly. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, thanks a lot and happy learning. Hey! Sorry, did I scare you? Well, I hope you liked the video, and please, would you consider liking and even subscribing? That will really help us continue to help you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm Mike, and see you later.